Okay, let's start section 5.2. I'm going to post a blank set of these notes, and I'm also going to post my paper copy of my teacher notes so you can look them over. So what I really want to concentrate on today are a couple of new vocabulary words, okay, and those are domain and range. That's going to be the gist of this rest of this unit. Okay, so the domain is the set of first elements of a relation. Okay, so blah, 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 right? What that really means is those are the X values. Okay, so don't overthink this. Okay, this is not that hard, just new words. What's the range? The range is the second set of elements of a relation, so that's going to be our Y values. Okay, and the other thing that we're going to introduce here, because this is the extension from Unit 4 in grade 9, is we are going to now start talking about functions, okay? And so a function is a very special type of a relation where each element in the domain is associated with exactly one element in the range. And that's a lot of words and sometimes not easily understood, but all that means is no x's repeat. That's what you have to think about here. Okay, and as we go through examples, this is going to make more sense. Whenever you hear the rules or the stuff at the beginning, you know, it's not maybe as clear. So we just need to go through some things and then you'll go, oh, now I get it. Okay, identifying functions, a relation that associates the number of players on a team with a sport. So here we have an arrow diagram. We know that because we have arrows. We could make this a table of values. That would just be just as easy, but we're taking a look at this. So it says 5 is the number of players on a team for, and then it has basketball. Okay, 6, number of players on a hockey team, also on a volleyball team. 9 is the number of players on a baseball team. 11, the number of players on a team for soccer. So that's just what that is saying. Okay, now I've typed in the answers here, so we're just going to talk through them. Identify the domain and range. So what I want you to start doing now is every time you see the word domain, I want you to write an X above it. Every time you see the word range, I want you to write a Y above it, just so that you start to get that. Okay, so what is the domain? So we're going to use set brackets, and we're going to write always in numerical order, 5, 6, 9, and 11. That's all we wanted. Okay, now this is where it starts to get a little different for you because we're used to just using numbers when we're talking about X and Y's, okay? And we're not going to now in this unit. The range is, and here's our Y's, right? This was our X's, this is our Y's. So we're just gonna list baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, and volleyball. That's my range. Now it says list the ordered pairs. So the ordered pairs is 5 and basketball, okay? And we're gonna start with the set brackets because we're gonna write all of the ordered pairs. 6, hockey, 6 volleyball, 9 baseball, 11 soccer, okay? And now we're going to decide whether relation is a function, and this is the very first time that you've done this. Okay, so let's go back up to the notes. Okay, something is a function as long as no x's repeat, and I've bold printed this so it's easier to see. Okay, but you would answer that this is not a function. Okay, it's a relation, but it's not a function because the X is repeated. There were 6 players on a hockey team and also 6 players on a volleyball team. Okay, that's all you need to do at this point. Okay, 2 more that we should have talked about in grade 9, but I just want to remind you about them. The independent variable is a variable whose value is not determined by the value of another variable, also known as the X. Okay, the dependent variable, a variable whose value depends on the independent variable, those are our Y's. So what we've done today is we've introduced 4 new vocabulary words. Domain, range, independent variable, dependent variable, and I guess 5 because we've also talked about a function. What you need to remember is the domain and the independent variable are x's, the range and the dependent variable are our y values. Okay, so now if I gave you this as a U try, okay? So it says, sorry I'm shaky today, I've only had about 15 coffees. Okay, it says a relation that associates the given shapes with a number of right angles in the shape. So I've given you a right triangle which has 1 90-degree angle, an acute triangle would have none because they would all be less than 90. A square has 4 at all of its corners. A rectangle also has 4, and a regular hexagon has 0. Identify the domain and range. Okay, so the domain would be all your x values. Okay, so here they are. They're words this time, which is weird. Now I'm just going to abbreviate them this time, okay? Right triangle, acute triangle, square, just because I'm trying to get this video under 10 minutes, rectangle, and regular hexagon, okay? And now if I was asked to do the range are my y values. Now I usually do these in numerical order, and we don't write them twice, okay? So a 0 shows up, a 1 shows up, and a 4 shows up. So we don't repeat those, no repeaties, okay? Now, is this a function, okay? So let's take a look. All you concentrate on are your x values: right triangle, acute triangle, square, rectangle, and regular hexagon. Did any of those repeat? No. So that means that this is, yes, it is a function, and you don't have to get fancy for me, okay? You can just write no x's repeated, okay? Because that's what I want you to understand, okay? You don't have to give me all the math jargon at this point. All right, given this relation, okay, these months, okay, a set of months has this number of days, and here are the days over here: January 31, February 28, March 31, and April 30th. List the ordered pairs, okay? So here we go. January has 31, and remember that ordered pairs always have to be in a set of brackets, okay? February 28, March, we can abbreviate them at this point, right? 31, and then the last one is April. April has 30 days. Okay, identify the domain and range. So the domain is our x values. So January, February, March, April. And our range going to be in numerical order: 28, 30, and 31. Those are our only options, okay? And I like to write them like that, and we're not going to repeat. Now it's asking us, is it a function? So we go up here and we look at our x values: January, February, March, April. None of them repeat. So this is a function. And if I asked you to explain why, you're going to say no x values repeat. Okay? And as we get deeper into the unit, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay. So this is my terrible table of values. I don't know why I can't get this to work out better. Okay, it says the table shows the masses in grams, okay, here, of a different number of identical marbles. So as we have one marble, it's weighs 1 27/100 of a gram. If we have two, it has 2 54/100. And what's happening here is as this goes up by 1, this is going up also by a steady increment, because each marble weighs 1 27/100 of a gram. Okay, so it says, why is this relation also a function? Okay, it's a function because no x is repeated, okay? In math world, we say because for each number in the first column, the domain, there's only one number in the second column, the range. If I asked you to identify the independent variable, so what I'm doing here is just asking you to understand vocabulary. Those are my x's, okay? These are my y's, and I asked for the variable this time. So the x variable is the letter n, okay? And the dependent variable is the letter m, okay? Independent x side, dependent y side. Okay, now it says you try here. So we've got, we're selling tickets, let's say to a concert. Okay, and for one ticket, it's $1.75, 2 tickets, $3.50, 3. So it's going up by $1.50 every single time here. Okay, is this relation also a function? Well, we clearly are going to look at our x values. Do any of these repeat? Nope. So we can say, yes, it's a function. Okay, no x's repeat. Okay, and we're just going to do that for today, okay? So I just want you to go over this video, take a look at the notes, and then on Monday, we're going to come back to this.